Facebook Live, we have arrived one more time. I thought we was on, but we wasn't. Now we on. Well, I'll pray again. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you. Humble to know how. Believe in you and trust you at your word. Continue to send a relevant word that we may grow thereby. We're in awe of you. We believe you. We need you. We trust you. We thank you. In the matchless name of Yahudah HaMashiach, we humbly pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen. Charvet, Teresa, how y'all doing? My screen just went black, so I'm waiting for it to boot back in. Shalom, shalom, Colt Don. Been missing y'all, Don. My computer's about to crash and reboot. That's funny, huh? Timing is impeccable. Mr. David Battles, good to see you, sir. Hallelujah. Mother Katie, bless you. Waiting for my computer to finish rebooting. I pray everybody had a Baruch day today. Yeah. I pray everyone had a Baruch day today. Boss Doss in the building. Okay, it should be rebooting right now. Sound is a little low. Let's see what we can do about that, if anything. Let me see. Going through so many things with these gadgets, y'all. Let me see. It's all the way up. Hopefully that helped. Okay, it's booting, y'all, as y'all can hear, I gather. I'm going to try to talk loud so y'all can hear me for sure. Let's see. It's booting, y'all. Okay, here we go, y'all. Okay, here we go. 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, y'all. Begin at first verse. Look what it say. It say, we then, as workers together in him, beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yah in vain. Someone told me today that grace is all Yah. If it's all Yah, how could you receive it in vain? If we don't have nothing to do with it, how could you receive it in vain? If it's all Yah, you don't have nothing to do with it. You can't fail it. You can't. Anyway. And we then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yah in vain. For he had said, I have heard thee in the time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as ministers of Yah, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, imprisonment, in tumults, in labors, in watching and fasting, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Ruach HaKodesh, that's the Holy Spirit, y'all, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of Yah, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Whew. O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you and our hearts is enlarged. You are not straightened in us, but you are straightened in your own bowels. Now for recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children, be you also, hallelujah, enlarged. Well, so to explain, 11th verse is talking about, he's saying to the Corinthians, I've opened up my mouth unto you, and our hearts is enlarged, meaning I love y'all, and I've been there for you. You are not straightened in us, but you are straightened in your own bowels. In other words, they didn't love Paul and them like they should have. They're withholding their love from them. And so, for now, recompense in the same. In other words, equal recompense, equal exchange. In the same, I speak unto my children, be also enlarged. But look at this. 2 Timothy 2 and let's begin at the first verse. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace. If it's all Yah, we don't have to be strong in it, right? Anyway, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that's in the Messiah. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who is able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of the Messiah. This race, this life, can get hard. It can get rough. When truth is preached, when you're acquainted with truth, you start to understand you got to take up your torture stake and follow him. You gotta arm yourself with the mind of suffering in order to follow him. You gotta walk in a certain level of selflessness in order to walk with him. The devil offers a gospel that, do what thou wilt, because you saved by grace. Because it's a false satanic grace that he's offering. The grace that he offers is a flatbed for lasciviousness. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace. Be strong in the unmerited favor, because you can fail it. You can come short of it. You can have the grace in your life and come up short. That's why 2 Corinthians 6:1 say, we then as workers together with him beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yah in vain. Yah give you a gift. How could you receive it in vain? Unless the gift he gave you, you ain't got to open it. You can give it back. You can return it. Have you ever got a gift from somebody and took it back to the store? We then as workers together with him, because you have something to do with the gift, if you're able to take it back to the store. We then as workers together with him beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yah in vain. Well, salvation is right here, and we pray that it wasn't handed to you in vain, that you don't turn on it, and that you're so hungry and so thirsty for Yah that you're willing to go through whatever it takes to keep him, to please him, to walk circumspectly before him. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that's in the Mashiach. And the things that thou have heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit to faithful folk that love Yah. Did you know people that are saved, like saved for real? I don't like using those terms, but it's really the truth. But people that are saved for real is about their Father's business, like the Messiah was. You got people that frequent a ministry, but they're not a part of it. More importantly, and more accurately, frequenting the Messiah's ministry, Yah's ministry. Yah has a ministry. There's a call on our life, and there is something to do. Of course, there's something to stop doing, which is sinning and going against him. But we've been called out of the darkness into the marvelous light. And we've been called out of the darkness into the marvelous light so our light can shine, so people can see our good works and magnify our Father which is in heaven. But what good is a light in the daytime? When you're dealing with a dark world, that's when the light is applicable. It shines and it's noticeable. It makes a difference in the room. And sometimes it ain't easy carrying the light. Most of the times it's not. When you're surrounded in darkness, folks acting dark, folks acting evil, folks, come on. You got to be the type of person that endure hardness. You got to be the type of person that can endure it. Someone rub you the wrong way, you still got to walk in love. That can get hard. Thou therefore endure hardness. Lonely. That can get hard. Broke. Feel disrespected and left out. Man, that can get hard. That's not an excuse to backslide. That's not an occasion for the flesh. The word is telling us to endure hardness as a good soldier. Because it's a war going on. It's a spiritual war, right? See, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. This is a spiritual war. This is not a natural war. And we got to be the type that can endure hardness. Look, let's go back to 2 Corinthians, right? Look at this. Third verse, 63. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. People be out of pocket, but you got to be able to take it on the chin. You don't want to get offensive. Give no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Yah. In much patience. You're patient. In affliction, they're wrong. They're afflicting you. In necessity, you don't have, the ends ain't meeting. You don't have enough to survive. You're not in floss mode. You have needs. You can use a compliment, a pat on the back. You can use some encouragement. David got to the point, he said, man, I had to pat my own self on the back and encourage myself. Approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes. That's beatings, y'all. Stripes is beatings. Imprisonment, that's incarceration, being arrested. Oh, we talking now. In distresses, turmoils, in labors, working hard, in watching, waiting on Yah, looking on to Yahudah, who's the author and finisher of your faith, looking on to him for the rescue, for the next assignment, for the strength to make it through. In fasting, pushing your food away, looking for him. By pureness, you're pure. Knowledge, by knowledge. You're walking in the knowledge of the word. By long suffering, putting up with stuff for a long time. By kindness. By the Ruach HaKodesh, by his spirit. By the power and leading of his spirit. By love unfeigned, meaning a sincere, pure love, even towards folks that don't love you. Look at this. Endure hardness, y'all. When your theological positioning is off, stuff like this sound foreign to you. This is like a poem. This is like some poetry, like we having poetry night tonight, because I ain't finna do this. Folks on some old false doctrine grace type hype. Folks is on some old ain't nobody perfect type hype. That we all sin and make mistakes. Folks got that polluted state of mind that the Most High did not give nobody. He's trying to deliver us from the state of mind of we're sinners saved by grace. Ain't nobody perfect and all that weak stuff. This is what Saul went through with the message of endure hardness. In other words, you're in a place that people are not going to treat you right and things are not going to go right. And you're supposed to endure it. You're not supposed to be weary and well-doing. But in due season, you will reap if you faint not. You're not supposed to quit because you horny, because you lonely, because people disrespecting you, because people are not reciprocating the love that you're showing towards them. You got to have a mind like the Messiah that told the Most High after the people he fed and healed came unto his own received him not. When they turned on him, he said, forgive them for they know not what they do. He made excuse for them, knowing they was carnal. Knowing that they didn't know no better. That's the position he took. That's by love unfeigned, unconditional love. Stephen, his protege, when they stoned him to death, all he did was try to tell them the truth to save their souls. They got so mad, they gnashed on him. They attacked him. And they murdered him. And he looked up into heaven and said, lay not this sin that they charge. That's love unfeigned. Folks, now the love of many is waxed cold. One of the last day signs is that type of love folks ain't even considering. Religious folks. Folks ready to shoot you. Folks ready to talk tough stuff. Folks ain't talking no forgiveness and no love. Folks ain't got the mind to offer another cheek. That's not the state of mind people have in these last and evil days. 6th verse again, y'all. By pureness, by knowledge, By long suffering, not only suffering, but a long time. How long? Long time. By long suffering, by kindness, by the Ruach HaKodesh, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth. You can't talk no false doctrine. That false doctrine stuff don't influence me. I listen to some dumb stuff to be coming from people that's supposed to know the word mouth, and I shake my head. I'm more into winning disciples than friends anyway, tell you the truth. It takes this. This is the real stuff right here. Untainted. This is written. We just reading it. I'm not messing with it. Here you go. By the word of truth, by the power of Yah, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left. Ain't no other side. You get to the other side, it's the same thing. Talking about you don't want to meet my other side. The other side, on the right hand and on the left, supposed to be righteousness. Don't push me. What you gonna do? Prove you not saved? Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you reap if you faint not. We got to learn to endure hardness as a good soldier. That's what he said. By honor and dishonor. When Peter, Kepha, and Yachanan, they called them Peter and John, right? When they was at the beautiful gate, and they healed the man and they went inside, right? The first reaction was people wanted to worship them. Literally, they wanted to worship them. And Peter said, why are you looking at me like that? You think it's by my power that this man stand before you, ho? I'm not going to sit up. You ain't going to have no appreciation for me. And me and my wife sitting up in no doggone wicker chair while people reading poems to me. Miss me with that whole idea. Whoever with that, that's your business. But why are you looking at me like that? And I ain't nobody special. Just a vessel. Nobody special. What's my brother name? The God MC. But just a vessel. Nobody special. By honor. Someone that's being able to respond right in honor. I don't deserve all that. I don't want all them accolades. Not that serious. It's by his unmerited favor that I'm able to do what I do. If he wouldn't have died for me, rose again, baptized himself inside of me, giving me the ability to do, then I wouldn't be doing. My carnal limitations is limited. My humanism, my human nature can't cut it. He had to empower me by his spirit. He ain't forcing me to do nothing. He give me the ability to do it if I choose to. He's not going to suffer to be tempted. He's not going to suffer to be tempted above that which I am able. But with the temptation, may way of escape, that I might be able to bear it. Because I might not bear it because I don't want to. Folks got that fake grace. These false doctrine folk, right? They got that fake grace that force you to do right. It's by his grace. You ain't got nothing to do with it. But the word said, we then as workers together with him beseech you also that you receive not the grace of Yah in vain. Why is he praying you receive it in vain if you can't receive it in vain? Come on. 8th verse. By honor and dishonor. You get to honor and want to start worshiping. He told him, why are you looking at me like this? Be it known to all y'all that by the name of Yahudah does this man stand before you whole. This is the stone that you builders rejected, but neither is there salvation in any other. That came the head of the corner, y'all. But neither is there salvation in any other. For there's none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. By honor. They honored him. No, I don't want all that. I don't deserve that. Fasting and praying, trying to buffet my flesh to keep it in subjection. I'm killing my evil desires every doggone day to obey him. What? It's all him. By honor and dishonor. Because right after that, right after the folks wanted to worship him, here come these fake religious folks that was hating on him and jealous. They want to put their hands on him and beat him. They don't want to rush him through a kangaroo court system in the back and threaten them. Want to put their hands on them and tell them don't be preaching in the name of Yahudah no more. Haters. They wanted to drag him and whoop on him, potentially kill him, but too many people was excited about the healing of the man because he was above 40 years old, and you know, the church folks was passing him up out front for years, and it took some real men of Yah to come by and heal the brother. But by honor and dishonor. In other words, it went extreme honor to where they say don't worship me, to extreme dishonor, they want to kill him and beat him. But they endured it. That's what it takes to be saved for real, y'all. Don't talk to me like that. Yeah. They talking to you just like that. They treating you just like that. What you gonna do? Prove you ain't saved? By honor and dishonor, by evil report. People talk about folks that live right. Call you a judgmental, you too hard. You know, they got to squeeze in that false doctrine, that stinking thinking they got, that the Catholicism, that religious state of mind. And folks is just in darkness and they don't appreciate you shining the light. You're messing folks high up when you come around. And they'll get to talking about you. They try to find some dirt on you so they don't feel so bad about themselves. By honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report. You don't get too high on the highs. You don't get too low on the lows. You know how to deal with honor. You know how to deal with dishonor. You know how to deal with an evil report about you. And you know how to deal with a good report about you. As deceivers, folks is accusing you of being a deceiver. You's a hustler. You lying. They remember when you used to be on crack. You's a deceiver. You's a lie. Oh, you one of them slick woolly preachers now, huh? You used to be a player and a pimp. Now you're a preacher. I see you. As deceivers, and yet true. Folks will point at you. Folks will lie on you. Folks will make up stuff about you. You know, in John 3, right? It says, it's about 7, 8, or whatever it is, 9, but it says that as the wind blow and listeth, you can't tell whether it's coming or going, so is he that's led by the Spirit. Like, people can't put their hand on you when you say for real. They would rather believe you's a hustler, something slick about you. They get weird feelings about you and all that. And that's what it's talking about, right? As a deceiver, but yet true, right? When you're led by the Spirit, I can get deep on that part. But if you're led by the Spirit, people just can't put their hand on you. And haters want to. They'll talk about you. They'll come against you. Accuse you of being deceived, but you yet true. As unknown and yet well known. In other words, people be marveled about how you holding on to Yah for so long and how you changed, and they expected you to convert back, because a lot of people do. A lot of people backslide often, and they need to cut it out before it's everlasting too late. But when you hold on to Yah, it's a mystery in that, especially to people that don't do that. When people see you being faithful to the Most High and they not, they like, wow, that's unknown. That's unheard of to them. Right? You can sleep with her. They want to. You can sleep with her, but you won't. That's unknown. You can sleep with him. They want to, but something different about you. So as unknown, but yet well known. But you're so approachable. You're so approachable. And you spend time, and people know you. Our life is an open book, read of all men. We ain't got no secrets. Talking about ain't none of your business. What that mean? Yeah, it is. Who's that girl you sitting up in the corner with? Oh, that's my cousin. Let me know, because I know you're married. Our book is an open book. We get carnal and get to taking up for our carnal rights. You ain't got no carnal rights in Yah. Your life is you've been bought with a price, and your life is no longer your own. Yeah, he's using you. Yeah, he's using you. As unknown and yet well known. What's up, Sean? What's up, Jeff? But as unknown and yet well known. As dying. Like you losing it. As dying, and behold, we live. Tired. You know, always working, always busy. Folks can be concerned about your health and stuff. As dying and behold, we live as chastened. Look, the word talked about how the Most High, it pleased him to bruise the Son, his humanity. When the word was made flesh, it pleased him to take his wrath out on the Son. Because of the sins of mankind, he poured his wrath out on his Son. And when you're called out of the darkness into the marvelous light, Hebrews, the 12th chapter, say, what son do the Most High have that he don't chasten? Because then, if you be without chastisement, then you bastards and not sons. If he don't chastise you, keep dealing with you, will whoop your behind to keep you on a straight and narrow path, then you don't belong to him. Because some folks get away with murder, literally. Some folks are doing every ungodly thing right in his face and don't nothing happen to them. See, like, their car get bigger. Their money get bigger. They get favor. They don't belong to him. But when you belong to him, you going through something. Yahudah, John, 15 talks about if you bring forth fruit, he'll prune you so you can bring forth more fruit. He'll snip at you to keep you growing. He's creating a masterpiece through you. And we be baptized in the fire. It get hot. Folks lying on you. Come on, y'all. By evil report, good report, as deceivers yet true, as unknown yet well known, as dying and behold we live, chastened and not killed. Going through it, but you like a Timex watch, take a licking and keep on ticking. You're not dead. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Folks be wondering, how in the world are you still rejoicing? And I see all the stuff you go through. The Mashiach wept, the word said. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. When you saved, you going to cry. If you live in the lick of anything, he that is suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. You going to go through from telling yourself no. You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't go there as much as you want to. You can't take matters in your own hands. You can't get revenge. You can't render evil for evil. That will hurt your flesh feelings as sorrowful and yet rejoicing. Well, all while you going through, you still praising him and lifting him up. Oh, it's the truth anyhow. I will bless Yah at all times, and his praises shall continually be in my mouth. As sorrowful, but yet always rejoicing. As poor, like I really ain't got it for myself, for my family. I wish we was doing better. As poor, but yet making many rich. Always trying to help. Always trying to see what I can do to help you get over the hump. As poor, yet making many rich, because you walk in the spirit of selflessness. It's not self-preservation like the world get down. They get down, dog eat dog world. They looking out for their own. They'll encourage you. You need to stop being so nice to other people. You need to look out for yourself. You and your family. That's how you think. That's how you feel about it. But when you bought with a price and you know you're no longer your own, come on, somebody. I'm about my Father's business. I ain't losing no sleep from helping somebody, even though they didn't pay me or wasn't nice to me or wouldn't help me. When you belong to Yah, you don't help people because they'll help you. You help people because he helped you, and he gave you his love. You like-minded. Just let the mind that was in Yahudah also be in you. You allowing the love of the Most High govern what you do and not what other people do. Don't get it twisted. As sorrowful yet rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Because our Father owned the cattle on 1,000 hills. If you need it, he'll get it to you. It might not come when you want it to, but it's always right on time. Sometimes the answer is no. Saul in 2 Corinthians 13 chapter went to the Most High about a thorn in the flesh. He asked him to remove it 3 times. He said, nope. The Most High say no a lot. Just like a good parent tell their children no a lot. You ain't raising no brats, and don't go your way. It might feel good to you. Everything feel good to you ain't good for you. He said no. As sorrowful yet rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Daddy got it all. Come on, somebody. All you Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, meaning I'm sharing the word with you freely. And our hearts is open to you. We love you. I'm preaching to you. I'm trying to help you because I love you. Cry loud and spare not. Telling you the truth so you can get your soul in order. You're not straightening us. But you are straightening your own bowels. We're not withholding our love from you. But yet you're withholding your love from us. Now for recompense in the same. Come on. Let's be fair about this thing, y'all. As for a recompense in the same, meaning you should be treating me the way I'm treating you. I speak as unto my children. Be you also enlarged. Enlarge your hearts like mine is towards you. I'm speaking to you as my children. In other words, you're wrong, but I still love you. Snap out of it. Come on, y'all. Back to 2 Timothy. I'm going to let y'all go. This is not a long lesson tonight, y'all. But listen. 2 Timothy 2:1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace. Y'all get the real grace, y'all. It'll help your theological position. We're not talking about the grace that was created by those of older Dane, right? False doctrine grace to turn the grace of Yah into lasciviousness, a platform for sin. No. The real grace gives you power not to sin. The substantiation of a relationship with the Most High you couldn't earn. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in the Mashiach. And the things that thou heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men. Somebody love Yah, and somebody love the work of Yah. Somebody is living that the word go forth. Somebody is living in selflessness to the point that they're denying their flesh that somebody else might live. What manner of love is this that one would lay down in life for their brother? That's it right there. The Mashiach laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our life for the brother. We ought to walk in selflessness to the point that we're faithful. We're consistent. We live for the Most High. We've been bought with a price, and it's better not to make a vow than to make one and break it. We made a vow to him, we didn't take it back. I'm not taking it back. I'm not finna start cussing again, cheating on my wife, acting a fool. I'm cool. I'm not finna get high and drunk no more. I've been there, done that, went there, came back. I'm done, y'all. Come on. I'm not looking for no twisted grace. I want the real grace, because the real grace gives me the power to be a new creation. If any man be in the Messiah, he's a new creation. If any man be in him, you're new. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things become new. And because of that, I'm able to teach others also. Yeah. The things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness. It gets hard. Endure hard. What she say to you? What she did that to you after how nice she was to her? Endure hardness. You should slap her. You should have slapped her. Endure hardness. You should cuss them out. Endure. They ain't paid you your money back. Endure hardness. Endure hardness. You always, be helping and cleaning up. You stay behind and clean the building. You even wash the toilet. And that's how they going to treat you? If I was you, I'd quit. Endure hardness as a good soldier of the Mashiach. What is the standard? It comes from Yah. It comes from the word, not a carnal-minded person. And there's a way to seem right unto a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. Men, your stinking thinking to trap you up. How you thinking crazy, responding wrong and stuff. Fourth verse, no man warth. No man that warth entangled himself with the affairs of this life. Because you ain't going to be able to endure. You too busy trying to look cute. You too busy trying to live this life. Trying to live your best life, they say. I'm living my best life. Not here, not in the valley of the shadow of death, you ain't. You deceived. Ain't nothing best about this matrix. These jokers done took over. You used to be able to have your own food and take care of your family, raise your children and your family the way you want to. These jokers done took over every aspect, your health, your education. They got you working your finger to the bone, taxing. You get your check and get taxed, and then you go to the store and get taxed, and then at the end you get taxed. Hey, they cold, boy. Hey, this is the Matrix. Watch the Matrix. This is the Matrix, y'all. And we need to be delivered from it. We were called out of the darkness into the marvelous light. We need to pass through this place like pilgrims just passing through, because this place is wicked. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Why? Because he with me. His rod and staff, they comfort me. I'm on something else. I can't dance to the devil's drum, the prince of the air, the prince of the power of the air. He ain't got no air. That's Yah's air. But he got power of the air, these frequencies, the internet, the web. All this wickedness flowing. Our children is toe the heck up. He is tearing them. You talking about a freaky, miseducated, satanically programmed young people coming up. The devil's doing the job. Better get your children. You live the life in front of them so they can see the example and be in the word with them. No man war. Come on, y'all. No man that warreth, because this is a war. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but it's a war. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life. You should be at war, because the devil definitely declared war on you. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. See, when you start cutting deals with the devil, that's when you can't say certain things. You're a part of this governmental structure, so you limit it. Loose yourself. No man that warreth. It's a war, y'all. You're in the matrix. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life. You get caught up in the flesh, the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. It's not of the Father, it's of the world. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life. You ain't going to be able to endure hardness if you do. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of the Messiah, of the Mashiach. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life. Why? That he may please him that has chosen him to be a soldier. Only way you're going to be able to please him, you got to detach yourself. And if a man strive for masteries, you trying to win the race, you competing, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. We got to walk in obedience to the word, y'all. Keep believing that old weak doctrine and how you acting a fool. See, he that measures himself by himself is not wise, right? In other words, your standard is other people, when your standard should be the word. And greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. We should be striving for perfection. And to him that knoweth do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. We need to be the type of person that his word can live in us, even though it goes against the flesh. And we're going to choose his word over our carnality, over our fleshly desires. If he say you can't sleep with him, you can't sleep with him. If he say you can't hang with him, you can't hang with him. If he tell you to, come on, y'all. If he tell you to come, you're going to come. If he tell you not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching, you willing to assemble. You willing to do whatever he tell you to do. Give, forgive, whatever it is. Time out for these religious folks. We got enough satanic religious folks. It's real loud, sounding brass and tingling cymbals. Love to preach, love to quote scriptures, but you're a rascal. You're a joker. You full of, come on, y'all. We need to get our lives together and endure hardness. Hardness. He went through a whole lot. Boy, let me tell you. How much have you gone through for the Most High? Or do you flunk? You still telling people off? You still sleeping with folks you ain't got them in to sleep with? You be getting high and drunk and stuff? Well, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Come on, y'all. Greater is he that's in us than he's in the world. Look what he went through. Look. Patience, afflictions, necessities, distresses, stripes, beatings, y'all. Imprisonment, turmoils, labors, watching, fasting. By pureness, he still stayed pure. Going through all that. He didn't turn bitter. He turned better. By pureness, knowledge. By long suffering, by kindness, by the Ruach HaKodesh, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of Yah. Man, he got us. No matter what you're going through, he got you. You can endure it. Be not weary and well doing, for in due season you're going to reap if you faint not. Don't quit. Please don't give up. Please don't let the suffering of this life. The words say the suffering of this life can't be compared to what he got for you, for them that love him. Come on, y'all. Wear this place like a loose garment. Come out of there. Come out. Let him call you out, because it's going to rain down fire. The wrath of Yah abides on the children of disobedience. You don't want him. You think messing with the devil is bad. You don't want nothing to do with Yah when he owns some recompense, on some vengeance, on some wrath type stuff. You don't want to see him in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Let's repent, y'all. And let's endure. Let's endure hardness, because he did the suffering in the flesh to cease from sin. He said, if you don't suffer with me, you ain't gonna reign with me. If you learn to be quiet. The wrath of man work not the righteousness of Yah. Learn to be patient. Learn to wait on Yah. Learn to continue to love, and he gonna work it out. Is that all right? Can we do that? Endure hardness. Okay, one more scripture, y'all. First Timothy 4:12. First Peter 4:12. It says, think it not strange. Don't think it's strange. Concerning the fiery trials. Don't think it's strange. Fiery trials, crazy stuff happening. You're blessed. Think it not strange concerning the fiery trials, which is just to test you, to prove you. But rejoice in as much as you are partakers of the Messiah's suffering, that when his glory shall, ain't no doubt about it, y'all, when his glory shall be revealed, you an iffy part, you may be glad with exceeding joy. And it will if you don't think it's strange, because you're going through. When crazy stuff happen, hold on to Yah. When people get out of pocket, get rude, times get hard, continue to cast your cares upon him, knowing that he cares, because he cares. Is that all right? Then that's all right. Well, let's pray. Spirit of the Most High, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you, humble to know how gleaning in the truth of your word, being visited by your Ruach HaKodesh, under the influence of your spirit of your love. We're recipients of your love and the eternal life that you so graciously blessed us with. We're going to keep it. We're not going to fail the grace. We're not going to frustrate the grace. We're not going to come short of the grace. We're going to bow down because of your grace and obey you. Thank you for endowing us with the power to become your children. Because if we're in you, we're a new creation. All things have passed away. All things become new. We're new in you. We even thank you for this process. Now keep us by your word. Keep us by your word. We're new in you. Keep us by your word. Give us a heart to endure temptation. For when we're tested, you promised us a crown of life. And you promised it to them that love you. And we love you. Forgive us for all sins as we forgive those who sinned against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. You're the kingdom, the power, and the kabah, not only now but forevermore. In the matchless name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we humbly pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen. That was the lesson for this evening. We pray that the word found you and unbound you, and that you govern yourself accordingly. I need him too, y'all. Some folks, we need to start having some testimony service on here, because some folks be going through it. You have no idea, but they still holding on to the Most High. And what we read about Saul, they call him Paul, y'all. Man, he went through a whole lot, but he still held on to Yah. Let's do that, y'all. Endure hardness as a good soldier. I think that's it. If y'all thought that there was some benefit in the lesson and it could benefit somebody else, feel free to push the share button. Easy to go witnessing. All you gotta do is push the share button. If you're a supporter of this ministry, one, we want to say thank you. And if you would like to support the ministry, I'll just tell you how. Only if the Most High is leading you to do so. The Most High is leading you to. You can give through Facebook, through my Facebook page, Yahudah Israel. And another form would be if you got the Cash App. You can put in 510-209-5818. And yeah, the PayPal is working. DerekMan5857 at yahoo.com. You can also give that way if you're led to. But I'm humbled by those of you who do. Thank you. May y'all continue to bless you. We're going to get out of here. It's late, y'all. And what I will do is I'm going to open up the line in case someone want to say something. They might have something pressing they want to say about the word. So I'm going to open it up. I sent you, Teresa, I sent you the conference line number and the code. So you know it's in your message. But if y'all got something to say about the word, it's cool. 302-202-1102, extension 815648. 302-202-1102, extension 815648. We'll be back on. All right, young lady, bless you. We'll be back on tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6:30. We'll be back on Facebook Live. We'll also be on the radio, www.radio.kbrg.com. Y'all can listen on the radio, get on the conference line, and listen through Facebook Live. And you can catch it on YouTube as well, up under Yahudah Israel. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go to the line and see if anybody want to have something to say. Other than that, I love y'all. Y'all be Baruch. Ahava. Y'all be Baruch. Baruch Shalom. I'm gone.